series of tough road losses. 134 to 126. Clippers with the win. The Warriors fall to 36 and 34. Clippers are 37 and 33.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Steph Curry drops a 50-burger, but it does not matter as the Warriors lose their 9th straight road game. It's not going away, folks. 7-27 away from Chase Center. I actually feel encouraged, and I'll explain why over the next 4 hours as we say good morning to everybody out there getting off their graveyard shift. If you're at work, what is happening? If you're getting ready for work, what is happening? Good morning to everybody on the roadways. Drive safely, please. That cold, crisp air felt so damn good this morning. I tell you that. Spadoni, Lutman, Joe Shasky, the Butcher, good morning to you. YouTube, Xfinity Mobile text line, all the calls who will call in today. A lot going on with the Golden State Warriors as they lose to the Clippers. They're 0 for 4 in L.A. They can't win in L.A. They give up 134 for the second time on the road against the L.A. Clippers. But I'm actually a little encouraged because of the standings, and I'll explain why. But Shasky, go ahead and have the first crack at it.
Encouraged isn't the word that comes to my mind. I'm frustrated. I'm so frustrated. Yesterday, Curry, look, you can make so many different arguments. That was one of those quarters, those magical quarters when you look back at someone's career and you say to yourself, God, I mean, from three-point land, attacking the hoop, the mid-range, the little floater with the touch. It was on full display against two of the greater defenders of this particular generation on the perimeter, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard's face guarding him. Kawhi Leonard looked like he sipped the fountain of youth. He looked incredible.
Noah Eagle told us yesterday in his last 24 games, he's shooting 50% from the three-point line and 53% from the field.
But didn't the defense look way more locked down?
He is balling.
Yeah,
now, they had no answer for Stephen Curry.
The lava lamp turned back.
But you know what? Kawhi Leonard is strong.
He looked sick.
And this is where you miss GP2. This is where you miss Andrew Wiggins. This is where you miss, at a time, Andre Iguodala, because Kawhi Leonard, look, Dante DiVincenzo's...
It's just too small.
He's too small for Kawhi.
And he tries hard.
He's not strong enough.
Yeah, he's just too small. And Kuminga, God bless his soul, he's doing everything he can. He still gets the rookie whistle. Now, I know he's still a young player. Can he get a whistle? Yeah. It's the refereeing yesterday, and that's not why they lost. But, my God, I mean, you've been on this all year. Let me possession to possession, consistent whistle is just out the window.
No,
literally, Terrence Mann gets breathed on and won. On the other end, Curry is getting tackled as he's falling to the ground, throwing up a flip shot, and not one referee is there to blow anything. Then the very next possession, Zubac barely gets touched on. I thought he leaned with the left shoulder, and he gets an and one. And I'm saying to myself, 77, that referee in particular, you're god-awful.
Carl Lane.
Bonte. It's not even first to fourth quarter. Okay, that I can understand. On the first quarter as a foul, late in the fourth quarter, I can understand that. Literally 4 consecutive possessions, erratic whistles. I don't understand how you expect these guys to know how to play defense and know how to attack if you're not going to at least be in the same atmosphere as far as the consistency. It drives me insane.
Well, the referees have been brutal all season. It's obvious.
It's horrible.
It's obvious. Who is...
But he had 0 free throws in the third quarter. They were face guarding him, bumping him on every possession. I'm not even saying that Steph should live at the line. I want to look at his raw attempts. He's got to be, if we go raw attempts per game, right? He's got to be in the middle of the league. He's a superstar.
Well, you think about the free throws, and I don't want to start there because I don't think the game was won or lost by the whistle. But the free throws at halftime, the Clippers had 9 attempts, the Warriors had 8. The third quarter flipped everything. The Clippers had 12 attempts. The Warriors had 0.
How do you have 40 points in a game at one point? At one point, he had 40 in a game with 0 attempts.
0 attempts. He only had 4 yesterday. And he was getting bumped and bruised. I thought the physical contact or, at times, the whistle took Jordan Poole out the game early in the fourth quarter.
100%.
Terrence Mann just bumping him. And he gets elbowed in the head. No call. So the referees, the Clippers end up... They shoot 9 free throw attempts in the first half. They end up with 32. And the Warriors shoot 8. They end up with 15. You do the math, folks.
They had no answer for Zubac.
That was the other thing. I told Bullet, and Bullet was like, "Yo, we was all over this." Zubac didn't play the last game of March 2nd. Zubac destroys the Warriors.
Yes.
And not only that, he grabs the 16 rebounds, but he knows how to finish at the basket.
Yes.
He does. So
he has this little
right.
He hooks the left arm and goes up with the right hand. It's a very good move.
No, but let's not get it twisted with the referees. Let's not get it twisted. The Warriors at the point of attack.
Oh, they get
perimeter
abused.
defense. They were getting abused. Aaron Gordon did whatever he wanted. Terrence Mann did whatever he wanted. Paul George did whatever he wanted. Until you get a couple stops, until you get into somebody, until you play some damn defense, until you figure out the zone defense, until you do something on that end of the floor, you're not going to beat anybody.
Totally
the referees, put the referees aside. The Warriors had their opportunities. You got to get a stop. You give up last 3 quarters alone. You give up 33 points. You give up 38. You give up 35.
How many walk-in threes did they hit yesterday?
Plenty.
Eric Gordon, looked like he drank the fountain of youth.
Well, Eric Gordon was cooking them 16 points, all coming in the second half.
I thought he traveled on a big possession that they didn't call.
Everybody travels.
I know, but it was a really egregious one. They needed to stop.
The Warriors now dropped to 0-21 when they're leading or when they're trailing after 3 quarters on the road. 0-21. How about this one?
So they can't come from behind on the road this year. Wow.
How about this one?
Wow.
When they give up 15 or more threes on the road,
I saw that.
They're 1-17.
I couldn't believe that.
Well, I can.
Well, I mean,
because teams are the Clippers. The average per game.
You're right.
Bully. What's the average per game? Oh, the Clippers make 12.5 threes per game. Well, what do you know? The Clippers make 16 last night. They shoot 47%. Look, when you shoot as a team like the Warriors did, 55.5%. You shoot 47 from 3. You go 11-15 from the free throw line. You score 126 points. Curry drops 50, and you end up losing by 8. You got to look at the defensive end of the floor.
No, there's no doubt.
Draymond Green picks up the technical, which may get rescinded.
You think it's getting rescinded?
He thinks so. We'll see.
He also thinks that he should challenge every play.
Right.
By the way, every single time, it's just it's a finger in the air, spinning it around.
I don't know if you saw our paper airplane challenge late last night, but
I did not.
I won the challenge.
I was disgusted.
And Bully does this. Can we get a replay?
Dog,
Can we get a replay? It's all the time. And Steve Kerr gives it. He gives it every single time. So
you know what, the Steve Kerr. While we're here, I want him to take the fine. I want Joe Lacob to step up and pay the money. You got to blast the officials. You just have to. You've got to send the message through the media that these officials are unbecoming of NBA officials. It's out of control. The fact that Steph Curry gets a whistle worse than Terrence Mann is how. I'm asking how. How does, and again, I love Terrence Mann. Terrence Mann, is he even like a top 60 player? How does Steph Curry, one of the top 10 players of all time in the game, get a whistle worse than the 6th and 7th man from the Clippers?
Yeah,
how?
Look, the referees have been all time bad. Fred VanVleet blasted the referees,
and he's right.
They're inconsistent. Ben Taylor stinks. Kevin Scott, and by the way, 24 Kevin Scott. Take away the camera when they're trying to talk to Dude, these guys. Think they're rock stars.
When they go to review something, and I'm going to go look at it. We're going to look at it on the film. Dude, it's out of control.
Again, this league still employs Scott Foster. So forget the referees. Right. And that's going to take.
I'm
the
sorry.
Spotlight.
It really bugged me last night.
No, it didn't bug me because you got to play some defense.
I agree with that.
And once Draymond got the technical, he didn't have the same impact on the game.
Well, you know what? You got to give Russ some credit. Russell Westbrook gets blasted all the time. I thought his energy on the offensive glass. Bunty. He made passes, and he had discerning. He hits the side of the backboard, hustles, bangs the ball up in the air. Okay, they miss another 3-pointer. He hustles again. He bangs it up in the air. It gets kicked out to Paul George. Boom, that's a 3. That's a huge sequence.
Well, when you give up dribble drive penetration all day long, and you help from the strong side corner or the weak side corner, how many open corner threes do Clippers have? I see it every single game. Guys close. Doubling from the strong side corner. What are you doing? That's a no-no. Yeah. Weak side corner. What are you doing?
How about the Zubac play where he catches the ball in the middle and no one goes and stops ball?
It is wide open lane. Wide open lane.
And Draymond stood there, and it's not just Draymond, but I'm saying he stood there and he's like, look, and he's like, well, if I'm not going to get him, are any of you going to get him?
Again, 12 free throws in the third quarter for the Clippers, 0 free throws for the Warriors in the third quarter. You don't stop anybody on defense. The Clippers take 8 more field goal attempts. And let's be honest. The referees had nothing to do with hustle points.
No.
All right? Hustle points. Second chance points, Clippers 27-11. All right? Points off turnovers.
What did they rebound? What were their offensive
rebounds? 16-7.
16.
Clippers. All right?
That's a lot of extra
You're plus
possessions.
9 in offensive rebounds. Wow. You're plus 16 in second chance points. You're plus 5 in fast break points. And you're plus 9 when it comes to points off turnovers. So forget the whistle. Forget the referees. Until you clean up those little things, especially on the road, you're not going to win road games.
Well, and I think that a lot of people last night, we're all thinking the same thing. Look, okay, I want to make sure this is very clear, okay? No one is saying we need explanations or we need to know, like, we respect privacy, but it's impossible to watch the Warriors in a game against a team that they could potentially play in the playoffs and go, wow, they're missing $34 million right now, and a guy who could be a great defender on two of these premier players. It's part, like, I'm watching the game, I'm like, man, they really miss Wiggins. Like, they miss him. And I'm not saying he's got to come back. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it's hard to watch this team and not say, gosh, they need him.
Well,
and I'm not saying that he has to
respect
rush back.
his privacy.
Yeah.
And that's what we did yesterday. And a lot of our callers, which are the best in the world, the roasters.
But am I supposed to act like he doesn't exist?
Hold on. The roasters are the best callers in the world. I truly believe that. And everybody respected his privacy for the most part. You had the one caller who tried to say he had an inside scoop. We cut him off. Andrew Wiggins has been away from the team for over a month now. I get why fans are saying, hey, what's going on? What's going on? We respect his privacy, but what's going on? You missed him last night.
Big time.
Gary Payton II. He's going to be reevaluated in 8 days. You missed him last night.
God, I need him back.
It's good to have Jonathan Kuminga, but is 18 minutes and 32 seconds enough for Jonathan Kuminga? I don't think so.
Well, he's just coming back from the ankle.
Look, he's a young player. He's 20 years old.
Late in the game, Bonte, they ran a Curry-Kuminga pick and roll, and he dove to the basket, and I'm like, Kerr, can you... That should be run 6 to 8 times a game.
Well, you know what?
Am I wrong?
Well, you know what? It's criminal that he was getting DMPs earlier this season. This guy's a player, and he's a better passer.
I totally
People get surprised, like, oh, my God, Kuminga's a great passer. No, we knew that. Kuminga could ball. So he only played 18 minutes and 32 seconds, but perimeter defense. Look, Kevin Durant, you may have to play him in the first round, and Devin Booker. And I'll get to why I'm a little encouraged about the loss last night.
Okay.
Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, they cooked you up. They filleted you. They combined for 54 points last night. They were hooping, all right? Who else have? Desmond Bane, all right? Memphis Grizzlies, the Sacramento Kings with Keegan Murray, Harrison Barnes, Sierra Fox, Malik Monk, Kevin Huerter.
There's a lot of speed and size.
There's a lot of speed and size on the wings. You need wing help. So the hope is Wiggins can come back at some point. The hope is Gary Payton II can come back at some point. You lose Andre Iguodala last night. He only plays in 8 games. He fractures his left wrist. Hell, we may have seen the last of Andre Iguodala. We have no idea. Well, that's another tough blow. You could have used Iguodala last night.
100%. But B, like, and I'm not even trying to be a hater. It's just like the guy was hurt almost all of last year. He didn't give you anything. They were banking on him to be healthy, and I wasn't trying to be
for the stretch run.
What?
They were trying to Iguodala, that is, right?
Yeah, but like the reality is like even when 4 or 5 years ago he couldn't stay healthy throughout the entire playoffs. So what makes anyone think that he was going to be like even for 10 minutes a night some key contributor like that felt foolish. Yeah. And I'm not. No one is rooting.
No doubt.
No one's rooting for injuries.
No
we
doubt.
need Andre, but this goes back to if you want to blast the young players. I think for wasting roster spots, how can you not look at the Andre Iguodala spot and say, you know what? They just mishandled that. Yeah. He should not have been one of their lock-in spots. Right now, you have to sign Lamb.
No.
To me, you have to sign Lamb.
And even Lamb, like some people say,
he's not a savior.
Even Lamb, he's not a savior at all, but you need somebody who can stretch the floor and hit a three. So 888-957-9570, how frustrating is it to see the Warriors lose on the road? Look, you asked me this road trip, 5-game road trip. I said they go 3-2, but I had that penciled in as a loss last night.
Well,
I had it penciled in as a loss.
Can I get sadistic?
What's that?
Don't you kind of want the 6th seed?
Well, now you're talking.
Am I getting
this is why? Well, this is
why.
Am
I playing with the basketball gods by saying that?
This is why I'm encouraged.
Okay.
Because you lose the tiebreaker to the Clippers.
You and I are so
and
sick.
I'm looking at the standings. You got 12 games left.
Yeah.
I don't want the Warriors to play Phoenix in the first round.
No.
I don't even want them to play the Clippers in the first round. I would much rather them play Memphis or Sacramento, and you get on that side of the bracket. You let the Clippers and Phoenix Suns battle in the first round. You let them deal with Denver in the second round. If you're the Warriors,
I'm with you.
And you could be the 6th seed, and you play either Memphis or Sacramento. Well, guess what? If you get by that series, you play Memphis or Sacramento in the second round. And into the conference finals, you play either the Clippers, the Suns, or the Nuggets.
But they're going to
have to go through all 3.
Yeah, and
they're going to knock each other out.
They're going to knock each other out. I mean,
that's why I was talking to Bully and D-Red. I said, this loss isn't the worst thing in the world. Now, you have to stay out of the 7th seed.
Yeah,
you got to make sure you stay in the box.
You're threading the needle. You're trying to thread the needle.
But it's not the worst thing in the world. And can you go 3-2 on this road trip? Add this penciled in as a loss. But if Draymond Green doesn't play on Friday night, Now you're looking at possibly another L. And then you play the Grizzlies on the back-to-back. And then all of a sudden you play the Rockets on the Monday. And then Dallas. And this team can ill afford to go on another 1-4 road trip. I'm sorry. They got to stack some wins up.
Steph looked very frustrated that, like, I don't know. There's a look on his face of determination that is... It's a look that I haven't noticed before. I'm not here to say, like, I'm looking inside his soul and he's angry at the current situation, but you could tell, like, he's laser focused, and I feel like he wants others to meet and match his intensity. And I'm not saying that they're not playing intense. They're not locked in. They're not playing to focus. No. JP fell just out of nowhere. He just fell.
And then throws the ball away to the Clippers in the backcourt.
And I looked
just hold on to the ball.
Curry was so frustrated.
Just hold the ball.
I don't know.
Why did he pass it? Zubac goes in on the other end, easy finger roll. I mean, it just makes no sense.
And then the 2-for-1. Okay, it's the end of the third quarter.
Oh my gosh!
And I swear to God, B, I'm gonna go to my deathbed. I'm gonna yell, a 2-for-1 is not a free shot. If you turn it over with a horrific shot, it's not a freebie. And I love Fitz. I know he knows basketball. I'm not saying, but stop saying the free possession. No, that's a wasted possession.
Well, it's the shot selection.
But that's my point.
Poole dribbles to Steve Kerr and says, "Oh, let me chuck this up from the wing." And it's a terrible shot. It's a terrible shot.
But that's the whole 2-for-1 thing only applies if it's a good shot.
Yeah, that was not a good shot.
If it's not a good shot, it's not a freebie. It's not a free possession. It's a literal turnover.
That was not a good shot. The
2-for-1 thing drives me crazy.
Well, no, I like 2-for-1s.
Yeah, when you get a good shot.
But that was not a good shot.
Yes.
I love 2-for-1s. But that was just like, how about you just give the ball to Steph Curry and let him take the 2-for-1? He's cooking. He's dropping 50 for the 12th time in his career.
He wasn't cooking. He was top chefing.
Dude,
the guy was he was Iron Chef or whatever it is. I don't know. What's the name of the show?
His third quarter was unbelievable. 21 points, 9 of 11 from the floor, the 3 threes. He was hitting layups. Steph Curry was in his back. So the look I get from Steph Curry, the feeling I get from him is the same feeling I got from the play-in tournament season. Where they made the play-in tournament, Wiseman's rookie year.
What do you mean by the feeling?
That he's just saying, you know what? I've got to carry this team.
Yes, he does.
It's time to just get on my back, and I'm just going to go cook. And think about him missing the 11 games. There's been no ring rust whatsoever with Steph Curry.
Well, no.
He's come back and that's why I said last week, everybody's like, well, should Steph Curry adjust to the rest of the team? No, adjust to Steph Curry.
Well, they need to step up.
Adjust to Steph Curry.
They need to
He's a system. All right? We don't ever tell Michael Jordan. We don't ever tell LeBron James. We don't ever tell Kobe Bryant. We never tell Hakeem Olajuwon, Tim Duncan, all these great players. We never say, hey, you need to adjust to your rest of the teammates. No. You adjust to Steph Curry and get on his level.
They need to match his intensity right now, and it feels like Dante is. And, I actually thought Klay played pretty good defense at times, especially in the second half.
Klay didn't have a great game. No impact.
Yeah, but you know what, though? There were individual moments where I felt like he was locking down.
Somewhat. 15 points.
No, it was not a great offensive game.
It was a quiet night.
It was not a good game.
And I thought at times they were targeting Klay Thompson. Paul George, Kawhi. He didn't have a great night in L.A.
Well, B, they don't have a lot of extra bodies to take the pressure off of them defensively. Like that. Again, this is where Wiggins and GP2 would come into play.
They missed them.
Of course they do.
Them. Perimeter defense is a
problem. And they don't have any bigs. No. That's the other thing that, don't get me wrong. These were the two areas. You and I have said it all year. Perimeter defense, you can never have enough of those. It's like having a bullpen arm. And then big men, they don't have enough. And Zubac against Looney, it's one of the few matchups. Ayton is another one. Like those guys, for whatever reason, have the upper hand on Looney. And I love Looney.
And the Warriors miss a lot of layups around the rim because of that size of the LA Clippers. Kevon Looney did grab 13 rebounds. I thought he played his ass off. You can't ask for much more from Looney. I thought Draymond Green, after the technicals, after he got into it with Marcus Morris gets ejected. I didn't think Draymond Green had the same impact on the basketball game, didn't have his typical imprint. And so the Warriors just didn't have enough. And you still score 126 and you get beat by 8. So until you start playing some defense, until you can stop dribble drive penetration, until you can play zone and lock down, until you don't roam off the short quarters or the strong side quarters, you're not going to win many games on the road. It just is what it is. But it's not the end of the world. You lose a tiebreaker to the Clippers. You know what? I don't mind them being a 6 seed. I do not mind it at all. Go play Sacramento or Memphis in the first round. But you got to get there.
Yeah.
You got to get there.
Yeah.
And right now, you don't have much margin for error.